So the manifesto of the person that caused that horrific event in Nashville on March 27th, 2023 has finally been released. It's been leaked by Steven Crowder. Now, while I was looking at this manifesto, a lot of people are talking about why didn't law enforcement and the media release the information inside this manifesto. Many people are arguing that is because it did not fit the narrative that the media likes to push out there. The media did not fight to get or release this information because it just did not interest them. Now, while people are talking about that particular topic, I do want to talk about something that I happen to see, a symbol that I happen to pick up on. Now, when this story happened to break out, the news actually shown us the weapons that this perpetrator was carrying, and these weapons also had some symbols on them as well. Now, we will get to those symbols later in the video, but I do want to talk about this particular symbol right here in the manifesto. Now, this symbol right here just looks like to most people it could be a random doodle that Audrey H just happened to create out of nowhere. Most people will also say that this is a reach, but I also don't happen to believe in coincidences. I also think that most coincidences happen to be a reach as well. This symbol right here with the spiral in the background was also seen on Audrey H's weapon. Is the same logo in Resident Evil. The Umbrella Corporation uses this logo. Now you may be saying Audrey H put these symbols there because Audrey H is a big fan of Resident Evil, until you realize what the Umbrella Corporation is all about. The Umbrella Corporation is the main antagonist behind the Resident Evil series. They are the reason why there's this large zombie outbreak, but not only that, they are not just the reason behind zombies, but also many human experiments, including mind control. Matter of fact, mind control plays a very vital part later on in the series. What's even crazier is that there's a spiral inside this logo inside the manifesto. Now, this spiral has nothing to do with the Umbrella logo. It is nowhere seen in the Umbrella logo. Even though this right here is the Umbrella logo, Audrey H or whoever created this logo add the spiral inside. The reason why that is important is because the spiral has always been connected to mind control. It's always been shown in media. When you ever see a person under hypnosis or mind control, a spiral is used. So we have two symbols that are connected to mind control with two arrows pointing out of them, pointing to the words death and day. Were these symbols being used trying to let us know that there was mind control taking place during this day? There are people that are mentally ill. There are people that do cause horrific events purely out of hate. But you do have to ask yourself, what percentage of people that cause these horrific events are under mind control? Now, before you say none of them because mind control is just a conspiracy theory, we do have to remember that the government, the CIA, were indeed playing with mind control in the 50s and the 60s. They admitted to it. Due to the Freedom of Information Act in 2018, the CIA released documents that they were participating in mind control experiments. The CIA let us know that mind control was not just a conspiracy theory. It was conducted under the name Project MKUltra. There were many horrific events that took place in the 60s. There were many speakers and political leaders that had their lives ended. And you have to ask yourself, how many of these people that caused these nefarious events in the 60s were under the events of the confirmed MKUltra? So then it's fair to ask, how many people are under the effects of something like Project MKUltra today? Or am I to believe that the CIA has stopped using mind control techniques altogether, that this project just simply ended in the 60s? Or perhaps it's just more believable that the CIA dropped Project MKUltra because it's an obsolete project, and the CIA found better techniques for mind control and now it's listed under a new project name, like Project Monarch or Voice to Skull technology. The CIA has pretty much confirmed this. All they said was, we stopped Project MKUltra. They never once said, we have stopped mind control altogether. Of course they wouldn't. Why would they? You may be saying, well, Project MKUltra was then just used on enemies of the state to get secrets. But no, they have confirmed it was used on everyday United States civilians. So mind control is not just some silly conspiracy theory. Then when it comes to Audrey Hale's weapons, there were two symbols on the weapons as well. Once again, there's the Umbrella Corporation's logo. Then there's this other logo right here that shows two lightning bolts coming out of a cloud. But what looks like a cloud can also look like a brain, and these two lightning bolts can also symbol shock. Now, the lightning bolt is a symbol that is commonly used in occultic Hollywood, but what people don't realize is that the lightning bolt is also a symbol used in mind control. Project Monarch is another mind control project, but where it differs from MKUltra is that Project Monarch begins even before birth. Electroshock is used on a mother's womb, and the child inside the mother's womb, its mind becomes disassociative due to all the electroshock. From birth to adulthood, this victim is abused to the point their mind is cracked throughout the entirety of their life. They're under mind control throughout their entire life. So we have these mind control symbols not only on Audrey H's weapons, but also inside the Manifesto as well. And this is all just one big coincidence. So this umbrella symbol right here that looks like just a video game symbol, it looks like just a Resident Evil symbol, has a much deeper meaning. And you have to ask yourself where this media gets these symbols in the first place. But the umbrella and the spiral are not just used in Resident Evil to show mind control, they're also used in other forms of media as well to symbolize mind control. But this umbrella is not only used in media, it has also been used by a Chinese biotech company. It is also a logo that has been used in medical clinics. It has only just been made popular by Resident Evil, but it does have a deeper meaning to it. Not only symbols, but I also like to look at the timing of certain things that are released, or quote unquote leaked. Now for the longest time, the government has told us that UFOs were nothing but swamp gas, they were weather balloons. Aliens were a crazy conspiracy theory. But now, as of 2023, for some reason, the government wants to have a very serious talk about UFOs. It is our American right to know that the government knows that UFOs do exist. So then I ask myself, why now? Why do we need to know now that UFOs and aliens exist? Same thing with this manifesto here. Why do we need to know about this manifesto now, after 9 months of it being kept a secret, that it somehow gets leaked out by a YouTuber? Am I to believe that this YouTuber has the connects, or was this manifesto meant to be seen now, given the fact that we had two very bizarre events, one that took place in Maine and another one that took place in Colorado? Both events that seem to have very strong connections to mind control. You had this perpetrator in Maine who carried out this attack which ended the lives of 18 people, who said he kept hearing voices in his head. He had to seek out psychiatric help, and this help was only for 2 weeks. We know voice-to-skull technology exists, once again thanks to the government letting us know that these direct energy weapons are being used on individuals. Matter of fact, Robert C. did not complain about hearing voices until he started wearing high-powered hearing aids due to significant hearing loss. This is not just a conspiracy theory. The government, the National Health Institute, did let us know this voice-to-skull technology does exist. These are direct energy weapons that cause traumatic brain injury. One of the symptoms of traumatic brain injury is auditory hallucinations, also known as hearing voices. People will see this and say to themselves, this is normal, this is just one big coincidence, even though we do have a mind control theme being played out here. Then on October 28th, we had this man enter an amusement park in Colorado who was heavily armed. Of course, one of his weapons was the same style weapon used in every one of these events. But before he could take anybody's life, he took his own life, and a note was left behind where he stated he is not somebody that takes other people's lives. This man was letting us know he was not in control of himself, and when he did get any sort of control, he just decided to end his own life before he could harm anybody else. Then of course we have this pilot who was under the effects of mushrooms for 48 hours that was going to end everybody's life on the plane by shutting off the plane's engines mid-flight. But before doing so, he tells the other pilots, I'm not myself, I'm not feeling right. And then he attempts to shut off the engines. These signs, these symbols, these words, these notes are blatantly being shown in our face for a reason. Like I said, I find it very hard to believe that these mind control projects stopped altogether in the 60s. And if you're one to believe that these mind control projects are still ongoing, then again, like I said, you have to ask yourself, how many of these perpetrators are victims of these mind control projects that are still going on today? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.